Hello and welcome to the Pile of Shame game, the miniature painting challenge I made to tackle a problem every hobbyist knows too well. I'm a little bit sick. For this episode, I rolled the Darkwater box from Warhammer Quest. Honestly, when I got this box, I was so sure I was gonna be painting all of the models right away, and sadly, here we are 6 months later and I've only painted 2 of them. I was feeling so excited to finally paint this box, so I decided to make it into a 24-hour painting marathon. I've never done that before, so I was like, maybe this is fun, maybe I can get a lot of stuff done. So that's what I tried to do. In relation to painting the Darkwater box, I actually also painted Gelgus Post and created a full painting tutorial on my Patreon, so if you're interested, there's a link down below. So I decided that I would start painting this dwarf. I did, however, build the slimes first, just so that they could dry while I was doing some other stuff. And you might have noticed that the clock is looking a little bit weird. That's the Norwegian clock, I guess. I don't know how many other countries does it this way. We count all the way to 24 and then we just start all over again. I can understand if the system is a little bit confusing. Usually when I have very limited time to paint the model, I try to put base colors down on the model first. I also try to see if I can use the same base color on the different elements. I almost always add at least one additional layer to my base coat, just to make sure that I have good coverage. I focus on highlighting the most important areas first. I don't worry about smoothness, I prioritize texture and interesting contrasts. I don't spend a lot of time on those less visible and less important areas. At some part during the process, I try to start using different paints that I already have on my palette. An example of this is blending some of that blue into the brown, making a darker brown tone, which makes also a different color to the other brown parts on the model. At this point, we're nearing 2 hours of painting in this 24-hour painting marathon. I was feeling pretty good, but I also really wanted to finish the model. I didn't want to spend more than maybe 3 hours on it, so I was getting a little bit stressed. This backpack is also an example of me mixing colors on my palette with other paints. So for example, I'm using the yellow and adding a little bit of brown and blue, creating this khaki backpack color. Okay, so since this 24-hour painting marathon was not planned at all, I actually had 2 plans today. I had to teach someone from Patreon and I also was invited to eat dinner at my parents' place. So I left at 5 and I came back painting at 10. So instead of finishing the marathon at 2:30 tomorrow, it won't be done until 7:30 in the evening, which might be a pain, but I'm gonna do my best. So at this point I had to decide whether I would do true metallics or non-metallic metal. Spoiler alert, I do non-metallic metal, probably a bad idea, we're not gonna save much time on it. Yeah, I was just gonna have to be super quick and not care about having smooth blends. So we're getting near 4 hours spent on this single model, so it's not really looking good to finish a lot of models during this 24-hour marathon. I need to step it up and work a little bit quicker going forward. A friend of mine was making fun of me for doing a 24-hour painting marathon by myself, But it's actually not sad at all. Just put on some good entertainment on your stream. You will have a great time, I promise. So, when you do a 24-hour painting marathon, you will learn some things about yourself. One of them is, if you do it, you should start at 6 a.m. in the morning. It's gonna be very nice to paint for 24 hours and then go to bed immediately afterwards. The other thing is, I should have just brought my airbrush and have it by my side. This part of painting these slimes would have been so much faster if I used the airbrush, and I regretted it so much. But it is what it is. I've learned, and now you have too. I will say though, if you want to practice wet blending, this is a great way to do it. It's a big surface, but I'm not practicing it, so this was a waste of time, a huge waste of time. So I had to wait for the base layers on the slimes to dry, so I started working on this soldier. This is probably the model I was the most excited to paint. Initially I had so many plans on this model, but now I just want to have it finished and actually be able to play with it. So now I'm waiting for the base layer on the knight to dry. Honestly, this would not have been an issue if I just used the airbrush. Stupid Amalia. Next time, use the airbrush. Oh my gosh. Hello, it's 2:15 a.m. Which means I've been awake for about like 1 to 2 hours longer than I usually am. I actually feel way better than I thought I would. I'm having a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. It might be the caffeine, I don't know. I have 17 hours and 15 more minutes to paint, I think, if I did the math correctly. I'm really bad with math. But I'm having a lot of fun by myself. So it's 4:20 in the morning and we're back painting the knight. I think at this point I just want to push through. I really wanted the armor to be kind of whitish, and that can be a tricky color to do. So again, trying not to spend too much time, but also trying to be happy with what I'm doing. During Miniature Masters, contestants would say slow is fast. So an example of this is I initially try to save time when I paint the cloak, and I end up not being happy with it and I have to paint it all over again. So when you're trying to paint quickly, yes, paint quickly, but also take your time to make sure that important details are well painted so that you don't lose time later by painting them all over again. This part nearly killed me. Oh my gosh, doing this gold NMM super quick started to make my hand hurt. I'm happy with how it was looking, but honestly, I kind of wish I didn't do it like this. Okay, so we managed to finish one dwarf, and we've gotten pretty far on our slime monster dudes. I've gotten a lot of progress on that soldier guy, and it's just so much gold NMM. My hand is starting to hurt, so I think I'll do a little bit of a break on him. I'm gonna build those like giant Nurgle dudes. No NMM on them, that's gonna be great. And then we'll take it from there. So I was about to start painting again after taking a little bit of a break while these were drying up. And when I was moving my arm, I could feel my arm hurting, probably from painting for so long. And I don't mess around with that, so I'm gonna give it a break. I'm gonna sleep for 4 hours. I will then have like 7 hours left of this challenge, and hopefully I can still get a lot of stuff finished in that time. But I could have done it if my arm didn't hurt. Please remember that. I've been doing so well. So the first thing I did when I woke up was airbrushing those Nurgle dudes. I then went back to my slimes. So I had to really finish the models I have started before I could continue on models I haven't really gotten much progress in yet. And these slime dudes were taking a lot of time. I will say, if you don't consider the stress, it's actually super nice to give yourself like a dedicated time amount that you can spend painting. That way you can actually paint really focused, concentrated and efficiently over long amounts of time. This is actually something I want to get better at and do a lot more. Maybe not 24 hours though. So we have about 4 more hours to paint. We still have a lot of details left to finish on our knight, and we also have all of the slimes that we need to finish. So I think this was the time when I realized that I probably wasn't going to get much other minis painted, and at this point I was just focusing on finishing the models I had started on and be happy with the result. Even though I was nearing the end of this model, there were so many details on the back of him that I had to just finish and do as little effort as possible. So I decided to leave the knight there, and then if I had time I would go back for some final highlights. Now I want to focus on finishing all of the slimes. I decided to use orange on the leaves on some of the slimes. I thought this was a nice color to add next to the green. I wished I had a little bit more time to work on the skeletons. I wanted to do more texture on it, as well as maybe building up the gradient a little bit better, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is what I managed to paint in the 24-hour painting marathon. Even though I initially wanted to paint so much more, I'm actually happy with what I was able to achieve. And now I can gladly say that I painted 22% on my Darkwater box. A special thanks to my Tier 3 Patreons. You can see their name on screen right now. Your extra support is a huge help in keeping this YouTube channel going. I'm working my ass off to have a new video ready next Sunday, so thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and most of all, thank you for watching. And maybe I'll see you again next week, so yeah.